Yo, what is happening? Good afternoon. Happy Friday. It's Friday, right? Happy Friday to you. I hope you're having a good one. Today is a very fun and special day. I wouldn't be surprised if some of y'all's are tuned in to see the special exclusive Todd McFarlane Interview preview. We've already got 37 of you awesome people in the chat. We're also going to be doing some live drawing today. You're going to see, we're going to work on this here Black Flag cover. We're going to start off by working on Sniper, of course. But I do know you guys are more than likely here for, I don't know how much of the interview I'm going to give to you. I know I'm going to give you a bit of it. The interview itself is an hour and 45 minutes long. And I do have to preface with that there were some slight sound issues coming from his side that weren't there during the recording, but ended up being there in the post-recording, a bit of an echo. So I'm asking you guys to bear with it, knowing that there'll be a bit of an echo there, but if you can bear through the echo, there are some gems to learn. So what I'm going to do is probably put up a good, say, quarter to a third of the interview. Like I said, it's an hour and 45. So maybe I'll put up 20 minutes, half hour, something like that. Then next week, hopefully if you guys subscribe and hit the notification bell, which should be over in this corner down here, hit notify all. You'll know when I put up the first half of the interview with a bit more editing and some commentary, because he had some really fantastic points to make. We've got 53 people in the house. As soon as we get up to 70 is when I will post the video. I didn't want to get things going too crazy too early, since we're running live and you can't really rewind. Hopefully the notifications came through for people as well. I've noticed that when I'm streaming live directly through YouTube, it gives people notifications. When I use Switcher, it's kind of a crapshoot, and when I use StreamYard, same thing. I want to give a big ups to Caesar, Hail Caesar EVS, for crossing over the $500,000 mark today on his Wreck Planet campaign. What an epic milestone. He's an inspiration to all of us creators that are out here making our own stuff. Something to aspire to, you know, the 4-minute mile. He broke the record. He's breaking records. He's showing us it's possible. And you guys check out all the other great CG campaigns. Also, if you'd like to sign up for the Black Flag pre-launch mailing list, it's in your description. You get to watch a little video, which I will show you in our stream here. Let's go over to the chat real quick. We are 7 people away from starting the McFarlane interview, so I'm going to just say some hellos to people. My apologies for going a little slow. We got Mr. K. We got Late Kick. What's up, sir? Mo Biggs. What up, my man? J Jax. Oni64. Mitchell. Michael. J Dread. You are the law. Hail chat. Let's see. We got Angry Liquid in the house. Mr. Green. Our super mod, Mr. Green. Big ups and respect. Incredible Comics for life. Alex, what's up, my man? Alex D, another incredible artist. You guys follow his channel, follow his Instagram. He's a very talented dude from back in California. Love his stuff. Skits Comic is in the house. Hello, Skits. Looking forward to your comic as well. Hatch is in the house. Another Michael. Crackhead's in the house. Let's see. Hail, Michael, Synonymous Arts in the house. We're at 66. John Tattarelli Jr. Hello, sir. Sniper, no sniping. I like that. The Uncanny Kodiak. I am a Todd tease, man. I'm a big Todd fan. You'll see. Did you ask if he noticed us asking him about the Black Flag toys? I talked to him about it on camera. I have it recorded in some outtakes. Maybe I'll show it, but he He cracked a smile when we talked about it. I know he sees it, and I told him he needs to make Black Flag toys. We've got our first super chat. Thank you to you, Rockbiter. I really wish Todd would run a second campaign on Indiegogo so I could back it. I just can't bring myself to give Kickstarter money. Dude, I'm in the same boat. But man, that toy looks so good. And I realize I'm supporting Todd, and sometimes you gotta walk through the fire for those things. But yeah, maybe he will run an Indiegogo campaign. I'll send him an email. In fact, I'll send him an email saying he should consider it, because that's probably a big slice of the audience that hasn't come over. We got 85 in the chat. I guess what I have to do is start that interview. We've got a question from Fraud79. What camera do I use? I'm using, that's an iPhone. This down here is my iPad. This is another iPad where I can read you guys' chats. And where did you go? It turned, the orientation turned. There we go. Let's see. F Kickstarter, getting tweets and Twitters. All right. Can you give Todd a pass using Kickstarter, even Caesar backed? Bam. There you go. That's quite the endorsement. Listen, without further ado, I'm gonna give you guys a nice helping of bacon, because we got 85 people showed up just for this. So have some bacon, enjoy some bacon. You've enjoyed some bacon. Let's jump into the first parts. I don't know how much of it I'm going to give you. Let's say a half hour. The Todd McFarlane Interview.
Hey, Todd McFarlane here, creator of Spawn and co-creator of Venom, and you're watching Couch Doodle with Fragaboom. Stay tuned.
We are here with my friend, the Todd father, Todd McFarlane himself. I first met you in August of '89. Kind of crazy to think about that was 31 years ago. And you were kind enough to take a look at my work and give me some excellent advice. And through the years, through magazines and comic book greats and things like Comics Interview, Comic Scene, Amazing Heroes, you gave fantastic advice to a young Dan Fraga, allowing me to take your advice, work hard, and break into the comic field. And the Couch Doodles show is all about creativity, and that's why we have you on today. You are a creative genius, and we want to get into the mind of Todd McFarlane. So,
Dan, when I first met you, it was just Fraga. There was no boom yet.
Yeah.
Right? The boom came after.
That came from a Lobo comic book. It was a sound effect, and people just started calling me that. It was weird. It said Fragaboom, and they're like, that's you. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. Yeah, just a wee 16-year-old Fraga. Now I'm almost 47, 4 kids in, living the life.
Dan, I was probably professionally working for Marvel and DC for probably about 3 years, 2-3 years. And again, you think that you sort of understand what the business is about. And then I went to New York for the very first time. And I sat down with the art director at that time, was John Romita Sr.
Yeah. Yes.
And I spent maybe 20 minutes with him. And in those 20 minutes, he gave me probably 6 to 8 things that I just went, what? I thought I knew. I thought I knew what I was doing at that point, and none of it was like learn how to draw better. Like that. It was all about storytelling and composition and all the things in the comic book.
Yeah.
And I remember like that 20 minutes had a big impact. So sometimes, like you were saying, you go and show your work to a lot of people. Even if you just get one little tip from them.
Oh man.
can actually have an impact on what you do going forward, right?
Absolutely. And you know what's really crazy is sometimes some of the things that you hear you're not ready for. Like, but there was something you had said that was kind of off the cuff, and I forget who you were talking to. It was one of your interviews, but you said, I don't draw the way I draw to buck the system. I got to sit there all day for 10, 12 hours. I'm doing this to entertain me.
Yeah.
And that really, like, especially recently hit me, you know, all the time focusing on deadlines and trying to do correct and this, that, and the other, and failing to have fun sometimes. And that, hey, let's put what wants me to stay here on the page, and it's going to be resonant. And that's like one of my favorite pieces of advice that you've given.
Yeah, I've said it out loud plenty of times. I don't think people really appreciate the fact that, you know, doing comic books, especially from a writing and artistic point of view, coloring, lettering, it's not you can't do it in a social environment, right? For the most part, you have to sort of put yourself away. You have to concentrate on what you're doing. You have to think about all the lines. I mean, even sometimes if you're drawing and somebody's looking to you, you can't really focus on what you're trying to accomplish on a piece of paper. So it's a bit of a lonely sport. And so, although you can't have every page going to have, you know, something that's going to make you sort of enjoy what you're doing today, you have to find your moment. So the two moments are, let's say when I was doing Spider-Man, it was like, what kind of funky cool poses can I put that it'd be fun to draw, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was that simple.
Yeah.
And then the other pages are the ones where you go, hey, I got Aunt May and she's sitting at a kitchen table. And so this is going to be a boring page. It's not going to be like super fun to draw. It's not even going to be super fun to look at. So how can I have fun by what's in the room she's sitting at? What's on the kitchen table that she's at? So how she dressed. I mean, it now becomes a surrounding where I can get through that page. So.
Yeah, I remember.
Hey Dan, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
I'm hearing an echo. Are you here? Are you getting it at your end or no?
I'm not hearing an echo.
Okay. Then I'll just keep going.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I remember. I do know, and I'm going to be able to edit this because we're pre-filming this, so we can sidebar anytime you want. Your audio sometimes is coming a little muffled. I don't know what your microphone source is, but sometimes it's coming in and out.
Yeah, I have a better mic. What if I get closer to it?
Oh, that's perfect. That actually sounds great.
How's that?
That's great. And I could see your beautiful face. So I remember distinctly as a kid reading your stuff, and you had drawn Aunt May's boyfriend, the guy in the wheelchair, and you had drawn this giant wheel in the foreground and all the spokes, and it was like a low camera angle. And I remember thinking, man, this is so cool. This could have been like really dull. And you put us in a place that usually cameras don't go, you know, especially for like 89, 90. That was a really, really progressive shot.
Well, like I said, I would say you learn more and you tax your talent a little bit more on the pages in which I would call boring. Right?
Yes.
Again, you know, you got two guys. You got the hero punching the bad guy in the face. That one's sort of easy. You can do a little bit of drama in it. So now that one you're just trying to fight to make sure that the bodies look cool.
Yeah.
But to me, it was. I remember I did a splash page, which was Eddie Brock. I can open the book. Peter Parker's opening up the door, and there's Eddie Brock, right?
Yep.
And so for that page, it was just, you know, the writer just said, "Hey, Eddie Brock at the front door." I had him sort of leaning against the picket fence or whatever, the railing.
Yeah.
You know, I had some nice background in the back. Peter opened it up. There was a screen door, so I could do all the cross-drafting on it. And then Peter's hands were in the foreground, right? Like, oh, what are you doing here, right?
Yeah.
And then if I remember right, I may have even given Eddie Brock like a checkered shirt or something.
You did.
Like that.
I know the exact page.
So all of it was just stuff, right?
Yeah.
Just take what otherwise was a splash page of a man knocking on the door and somebody opening up the door. That's not very dramatic. So now to me it was, how can I make this really interesting before we actually get to the easy stuff, which is basically the guys in and costumes doing their thing.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into the Couch Doodle Show questions. These are questions designed to get into your creative spirit. Our first question is, do you have a routine? And if so, what is it?
I used to, so let me just talk about earlier in my career. When I was doing a monthly book, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not religious on any level, but I had a prayer. And every day the prayer was like this. Monday through Friday, a page a day, take the weekend off.
Yes.
Monday through Friday, page a day, take the weekend off. Monday through Friday, page a day, take the weekend off. If you live by that credo, you will be a monthly artist.
And you were penciling and inking.
Right. So, but it's still a page a day. So whether you're penciling or inking, you just got to get one page a day. Or if you're penciling and inking and writing, you still got to get one page a day.
Right.
And then 1 week you got 5, and at the end of 2 you're 10, and then 4 weeks you're 20. That's a monthly book. You can do a monthly book. It's 1 page a day. 1 page a day. So let me tell you, Dan, I've been in the business for a decade now. I have never met a slow artist.
Right.
What I've met are artists that are not at their table on their desk.
Yeah.
It's simple. So how do you get 190 issues of The Walking Dead, and how do you get 300 issues on, and how does Greg Ford 50 issues in a row of Batman and Scott Snyder? They just do the work. Do the work. There's no secret to it, right? So what ends up happening is we're now living in a world that's slightly different, where you can now go to shows and you can just welcome me to it. You can go to shows, you can bring your 4 feet, you can do your sketches, you can do your commissions, you can make a decent amount of money, and you can go home, you can make a living. Right?
Yeah, nobody's going to be nobody's going to have a dynastic career like yours that way. They're going to make their money and
I agree.
You know?
So you're going to make more money than doing a regular page. I get it. I get it. So I understand. And the 25-year-old Todd probably would have done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But with hindsight, what doing the comic book will do, and staying on it for at least a couple of years, is that you can establish yourself, right? And so, and to me, I always vowed, don't go on the best-selling books and the books that are easy, because you're following, like, who wants to follow Frank Miller on Daredevil? Who wants to follow John Byrne on the X-Men, right? Who wants to follow Frank Cool now on X-Men? Like, that's cool, right? Go take the book that nobody cares about, maybe number 45 in the ranking of sales, and take that book and move it up the charts. And people go, wow, I didn't know Miracle Man. Well, I didn't know Doom was cool. I didn't know Captain Man would be cool, right? So you're way better off making your mark on something that wasn't impactful at the moment, instead of trying to ride the fast forward, which is, what's the number one selling book? I'm going to jump on that. Now, fast forward, and I get it, fast forward, I can now sit next to somebody who didn't do that. They can do their commission or sketch cover and do, let's say, a Venom. And I can do a Venom, and I'm going to get paid 10 times to 20 times as much. So I only have to do one for every 20 of theirs. So in the long run, you have to work way harder than me over the years, because I put the work in early, right?
Yeah,
so
that's right.
The earlier you put in the work, the earlier you establish yourself, then the easier it is to now go to shows, and then you can double your price. But if you never sort of establish yourself, then you're never going to be able to put the price at the show of whatever market. And let me tell you, right now, I believe there's more talent in comic books than ever before. Right?
Yes.
I think
they're incredible guys out there. Yes.
And it may be part of the problem, because everybody's so good. It's hard to get out and hard to sort of get out of it.
Needle in a needle stack.
But now, if you're great and you're not hustling, then then I don't know, right? I mean, look, Rob Liefeld, you know Rob, I know Rob, right?
Yes.
Rob Liefeld is the case study. I think Rob Liefeld isn't nearly as great of an artist as a bunch of others I could name,
Sure.
but the kid's a hustler. The kid has been a hustler since day one.
He did what you said about hopping on a book. New Mutants was not burning up the charts in 1989.
Yeah.
They were going to cancel that book. And then he went in, like you said, he did what you just had explained.
Did it, moved around, and now he can take that legacy. Now says he's the guy that created the Cable, the guy who created Deadpool, and he can go and hustle. And he didn't have to be one of the top artists,
right?
Because he's very good. He's got a big smile on his face all the time, and he hustles.
Yes.
So people who maybe can draw circles around him are being left in his butt.
Yep.
He basically knows how to maximize like everything that he's got, and so it's frustrating when I see people who have tons of talent that are 10 times more skilled than us, and they're not self-motivated.
It's difficult, man, because they're different skills. They're different skills. I've found in my career, especially working outside of comics in film production, a lot of what keeps them coming back to work with me is I'm easy to work with. I get my stuff done, and I'm out there networking. And for a lot of guys, especially in the nature of comic art, I know I got into comic art because I was kind of an introvert and a recluse, and I love comics. And some guys, they just want to put their head down and draw, and they don't have that hustler spirit.
Dan, there's nothing wrong with that.
Zero. But they need managers.
Well, some do. Because here's the one: the person who just got his head down doing the work, just making a living. God bless that person, right?
Sure.
It's the other one. It's the other one who actually wants more than that, but they're doing nothing towards that goal.
Correct.
So they still are just basically putting their head down and hoping that somehow something's going to change. It won't, right?
Right. Yeah.
So why, Dan? Why is 50, almost 50-year-old people like Mark Silvestri and Jim Lee and Ray Capullo, why are we still rolling?
Because you guys, I know why.
I don't want any praise. I'm saying I don't get it. When I broke in at 25, 24, and the guys that we were facing were John Byrne, and they were 10 years older than us, and our goal was to take down the 35-year-olds.
Right.
Are you kidding me? If somebody said to the 25-year-old Todd, your goal is to knock off the 55, 60-year-old, what are you talking about?
Tell me this.
That was behind my back. Like a 50-year-old. No, there's no way a 50-year-old is going to beat me. Right? And I don't get it. I don't get like there's a natural progression that it happens in music and TV and actors and every occupation. The next new wave comes along, right? We were the wave.
Right.
And I keep waiting for that next wave to knock us off. Like why?
It's going to be tough. And I'll tell you why.
We should have been knocked off 15 years ago.
Here's my theory on that. Are you a fan of spaghetti sauce at all?
Yep.
Okay, so you can get sauce in a jar, and you can put it on pasta, and it tastes fine. It's spaghetti. But the kind you crave, the one you want, is that slow cooked. It was cooked from scratch, and it was slow cooked, right? It's better. It's got more quality. You're going to go back to it more because it was slow cooked. Or another analogy is people that go and lose weight really fast, they put it back on really quick. The people that do it slow keep it off. You guys, everybody you listed, put in time on more than 10 issues in a row. You guys stayed on one character. You stayed the course, and you had quality.
Right. But Dan, here's the thing. Here's the head scratcher.
Yes.
Everything you just listed is replicatable.
But nobody's doing it. And I would say it's slightly harder now. I've had this discussion a lot. I believe it's slightly more difficult now because, like you were saying, drawing comics, especially in the 70s, 80s, even my era of breaking in the early 90s, We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have social media. We had a boombox, maybe, a television with a Blu-ray, or not even a Blu-ray, a VHS playing of Star Wars that we've watched a million times, and that was our distraction.
So
And
Dan,
now,
here's the interesting thing. I used to go up on stage and I used to give the hallelujah speech. And I used to be a dad going, come on, come on, come on.
yeah.
You can do it. My new thing is actually I split it in half, right?
Yeah.
And so for half of it, I'm the dad, right? I'm the dad saying, come on, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, right?
Yeah.
And then the other half is what I'm going to tell you right now. Hope the fuck you don't. Because if you don't, then I never have to get better, and I'm always going to be at the top of my game because there's no competition. So
right.
you can give me all the excuses you want. It's a different time. It's a different place. I have one simple question for anybody. Then, did you try?
There you go.
So I get it. You might not come up with The Walking Dead. Have you fucking tried?
Right.
Let me tell you, if I'm making baskets all day long and you never shoot once, and you say, well, time, and Michael Jordan was good, and Kobe was good, and whatever. I'm not asking. I'm not saying they were good. I'm saying, have you attempted to take one shot at that basket? How would you know if it was Michael Jordan if you never shoot?
Right.
That's all I'm asking. I don't get it. I don't get it. God bless you guys for not doing it, because it just keeps 50-year-olds relevant. Thank you very much. I'm just saying the 35-year-old Todd would have taken that challenge and gone. Like, what's the worst that happened? I'm at Marvel. I go take the challenge. I find my own fault. I failed miserably, and I go back to doing whatever the hell it was I was doing a year earlier, 3 years earlier.
Right.
I'm taking a haircut. You're back. You're back. It's bizarre to me. It's bizarre to me. So I keep telling people I can be in a room. I can be the 10th best artist. And I will get the job when somebody comes in offering a job. And there's only one way. Because my skill. No, Dan. It's because the other 9 guys that are better than me never raised their hand and made the effort. And I said, I'll go.
Yeah.
So the 10th best guy gets it. The 10th best guy. So that's my entire career.
Hey, Todd, I'm hearing the echo now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. Do you have a set of headphones at all?
Let me go see if I can get them.
Cool. Yeah, I think that'll fix everything.
Oh, now I'm gonna
check that out, man. You got the cool headphones.
Yeah, look at me, badass.
Yeah, man. And I'm jealous of your hair. You got that full head of hair.
Don't worry, you're looking good. You look like Capula. You're looking good.
Hey, man. Capula, man.
Joey Fatone here. All I gotta say is Black Flag, Pineapple, Perception, and Frega-Boom!
And we are back. We are back. I hope you enjoyed that preview of my interview with Todd McFarlane. We got into even deeper discussion about the industry, about what it's like to create comics. I know I saw a few complaints in the chat about the audio. It's something I'm working on. It is a real pain in the ass to take echo out of something. It's like trying to take creamer out of coffee after the creamer's been put in the coffee. But we molecule by molecule, we're doing our best. Hopefully you guys have been digging it. I'm gonna check into the chat real quick, see what's happening in the chat. Hey Dad, I think Todd is saying no one wants it bad enough. It's a thing I've heard around WWE about grabbing the brass ring. No one wants to get it. Yeah, I think he's saying that. I think you're exactly right. That's what I took from it as well. When I put these interviews up, in fact, what I'm going to be doing is I'm doing them in the format of Todd McFarlane's Rules for Success. He said enough awesome gems that I wanted to bullet point them and break them up into 2 parts, so you can look forward to part 1. If you're not already subscribing to the channel, please do so. Hit that notification bell. That is right. No, this side over here, right down here, and hit the notify all. If you guys want to take a look at Black Flag, which is currently being worked on and the campaign is being built, check out the link in the description. You can sign up for the pre-launch list. That pre-launch list will get you, if you are an early backer and sign up to the list, you will get a PDF of Black Flag's issue 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the brand new series, and other really cool goodies that are going to be coming through the mail. Let's see what else we got here. Any other questions? I'm looking for any highlights. What does it say? Oh, cut the part where Todd had no pants. He had pants on. He was all over. It was lunchtime over there when I interviewed him, and he was like chilling and having yogurt and all this other good stuff. And always leave him wanting more, as King KDI is very, very much no so. Zaid, hail, how are you, sir? Let's see, from Concord. Gun from Concord. That's right, my man. I was born in Walnut Creek and grew up in Martinez, right around the corner from Concord. So yeah, man, that is where we're at. Michael Strelitz gave us £5. I think that's a pound, and says enjoy. Thank you. I'm gonna do everything I can to fix that audio. I just felt with Todd doing that awesome work on Kickstarter that I thought with his name in the air would be nice for people to see some more Todd McFarlane material. Go check out his Kickstart campaign if you can. I agree he should be over at Indiegogo, but who knows? You ever doing any reprints of the original run? Alpha Nibba asks. Yeah, they're in the works. What I have to do is get a very, very good high-res, cleaned-up scan of everything. The PDF that's offered right now are sort of mid-grade, low-res scans. Everything's crooked. The colors aren't recalibrated to match the original print run. So we will be doing that. It's just a process. It's not cheap. It's not very quick. You got to scan each page, clean them up, get them ready to go. But yes, definitely look for that down the line in another campaign. We've got a question from Late Kick. Is Todd open to do business with Comicsgate? I don't know. That's a question I can ask him. I conducted this interview about 2 weeks before I told the world that I was Comicsgate, but I think, and I'm not going to speak for Todd, but in talking to him during this interview, a lot of the things that he said about being free, wanting to make his own decisions, not be edited, not follow the crowd, to be his own boss, to look in the mirror and be okay with yourself. All of these things that he had said were actually contributing factors for me joining Comicsgate, because I was like, damn straight, every time he'd say something, and then I realized that's Comicsgate, and that's me. So I'd like to think he is, but I'm not going to put words in his mouth. But he definitely had his ideas in my mind, which were in perfect alignment with Comicsgate. Comics for the fans, and I'm my first fan. The day I started enjoying my own artwork was the day I started getting better. I think that's a secret that a lot of people don't say. What's the secret? A lot of people, including myself, for very long in my career, I had sort of this self-loathing. Every time I draw something, it wouldn't meet my expectations, and I'd be pretty upset and feel like I'd suck, which would contribute to me not working hard because I didn't want to get discouraged. And it turns into a vicious loop. But the second you become a fan and you start putting things in your work that interest you and make you excited, you'll start to grow and you'll start to enjoy it. So as long as you're your first fan, you have one fan. So that's my weird, strange advice for the day. Let's say it says this audio is horrible. Is my audio horrible right now? Or are you talking about the Mr. Noblin? Or are you talking about the audio with Todd earlier? Because that was something I got to fix, man. All right, Mr. Noblin, be well. Okay, I'm gonna jump into doing some live drawing. I'm not sure if you guys want to stay around. I'm going to be turning on this deal here, which is the iPad. I'm gonna turn screen sharing on, and we're gonna jump into doing some live drawing. So if you guys want to stick around for that, we will be here doing that. Let me get this queued up to where I need it to be. I hear lovely yelling out there. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna screen share this bad boy. All right, I'm gonna have you guys watch this. All right, we are back. Gonna answer questions right before we jump into this live drawing session. Again, I want to thank you guys for your patience with the crazy audio on Todd's end. Little backstory: we originally had set up the interview to happen on Skype. I had done all kinds of audio tests the night before with Matt Yackey, other people calling in to make sure it worked. Set up everything with Todd, and then that morning his computer wouldn't work, so we ended up having to have him dial into StreamYard with his phone. I had to use a screen capture software. I could not hear any echo on my end, except for that brief time where I said maybe he needed to change it and put his headphones on. And even afterwards, there was even more echo. So again, in the process of using audio filters to bring it out, but again, it's like trying to take cream out of coffee after you put it in. It's a very, very strenuous process. I'm going to do what I can. But again, very grateful for your patience. And so I'm going to answer Matt Svilar says, what's your technique for studying reference, whether that be someone else's art or object? That's a great question. I have a series of filters that I run when I look at things. I number one, if it's an object, I try to break it down into simple forms. Is it a cylinder, a sphere, a cube? Then if it's a multitude of them, I try to relate the proportions, how big is this next to that, and that sort of thing. When I'm looking at a picture or a frame or a big element that has multiple elements in it, I try to think of where the camera is, so where the point of view is, so that's where the perspective would be. I try to see how the objects relate to one another compositionally. I try to think about where the light source is, where if there's any reflective, refractive surfaces, what kind of textures there are. And then I start thinking about the form afterwards, in smaller bits. And if I was to break it down even more simply, I look at the view, the forest, the trees, the leaves, the molecules, in that order of detail as far as when I observe something. That's how I look at things. So that's about it. Let's see if there's any other questions. Hey Dan, I was Ethan's stream earlier, forgot to say hi, and that I'm hyped for Black Flag, says Rocket Simp. No, Rocket Simp, hello man. Yeah, I saw you on the show. Hello, and thank you so much for the super chat. I'm looking forward to Black Flag myself. In fact, I'm so stoked to be drawing this cover today. It's going off to get the portion of the new portion on there. I'll show you what's really cool about this original cover. Let's go over here real quick. If I turn off these layers here, you'll see this is the original cover that Todd McFarlane inked over me back in 1994. You can see there we are, Frege McFarlane. This was the cover of the preview edition, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool to have the characters bursting out of that old edition? And I talked to Todd about getting his permission to reuse it. I didn't need his permission. It was just more of a polite heads up, like, hey, I want to use this. And so we get a McFarlane Frege cover, and Frege Robertson Shelby is inking the new elements on here. One of my many. Let's see what else we got here. Any other questions? Let's see. King KDI says, no worries, words of wisdom are dropped by Todd. Oh, do you feel the difference from using the iPad, pen, or pencil and paper? I don't. I have this special coating on it. It's a screen protector made by a company called iCares, and it's ICAREZ. The main thing you want to do is get the one that says matte finish, not the gloss one, because the gloss is shiny. The matte finish has this anti-glare on it that is just enough tooth or texture that it feels like paper when I'm drawing on it with this pencil. Because originally when I used the iPad, it was like ice skating. Hold on a second, guys. I hear craziness. Have some. All right. We are back. My kid got shot in the face with a Nerf gun, and he was very, very unhappy about it. I am your host, Frege Boom, head Imagine Ninja / Ninjaneer here at Couch Doodles. We are I don't know what division we are, other than to aid and empower creativity in other people through example and interviews here at Incredible Comics. I got to start posting that logo up. Brand new company that I started in high school with my buddy Mike, and we are bringing it back to life. You're watching the Couch Doodle Show. Anyhow, let's get back into reading the questions. For a lot of us out here wanting to jump into the illustration world, any tips on how to stay motivated and inspired? I have a hard time just picking up the pencil. Goldschlager. I get asked that question a lot, and I can give you what works for me, and I think what works for me may work for a lot of people, may not work for everybody, but it definitely works for me. So I'm very, very mindful of when things happen in my life, of where I'm at, how I feel, things like that. What music I'm listening to. I've kept a journal since I was 12. Kept a journal since 1986. It's kind of crazy to think about. But what I do is I try to capture the idea of the feeling of things, right? And all of this will make sense in a second. So I remember the first time I saw Frank Miller's Dark Knight, the cover number 2. I bought number 2 before I bought number 1 because that cover blew me away. I remember how I felt when I saw Mike Zeck's covers on G.I. Joe. I remember what I felt like when I saw Todd McFarlane's artwork for the first time I saw Arthur Adams' artwork. I remember the feeling of sitting at the table with the 7 Image founders when I was fresh out of high school and just got hired. I remember the music of those times. So what I have over here back behind me is my spinner rack, right? And on my spinner rack, I put all of those comics that make me feel a certain way. And I also made a playlist on Spotify. It's just called 1989 because that was, for me personally, that was the year that I was the most hungry. I feel like I'm still that hungry, but I hadn't broken in yet. The Batman movie was coming out. All of these things were happening. So when I listen to that music and I open up those comics, I can sort of teleport myself into that feeling again, and it makes me just want to go. And that's what I do is I put myself in that state. And when I'm in it, when I recreate that state, I try to think of other things to reinforce it. Like, this is going to sound like some metaphysical mumbo jumbo, but like I imagine having sort of a purple aura, like in Tron, because I love Tron. And when I was a kid, I would stand in front of a black light and pretend I was getting charged up, stupid stuff like that. But I imagine this purple aura, and I imagine that feeling. So on the down days, I imagine the purple aura. I put on those songs. I listen to the music, look at those comics. But that's how I do it. It's weird stuff, but it works for me. Hopefully that answers stuff and it didn't sound crazy. Let's take a look, see if there's any other questions. Will the old cover be colored behind the new characters? Zaid, yes, it will be colored exactly like the old one. The only difference will be there will be no Image eye, no Image logo. The Image logo will be gone, as this is a Incredible Comicsgate book. But we will be offering a line art version and a color version, and there may be a color bursting out of the line art. I haven't decided yet. I just know there's going to be 2 covers on the campaign. Plus, we are going to be doing a 25th anniversary version of issue 1 that it will be available on the campaign, as well as the 1994 Ashcan that was available at the 1994 San Diego Comic-Con. Let's see here. Any other questions? And if not, we will jump into some drawing. Let's see. Concrete says, are you going to release a box with your campaign like the Honeycomb or maybe something similar? I thought about it, but you know what? That's Uncle E did that on his second campaign. And what I want to do, I think for me, having a box it's jumping ahead. It's putting the cart before the horse, because I'm very excited about this campaign. My main concern is making sure that it funds so I can pay my team. If it does well and there's a demand for it, when we put out issue 2, the second part, which is called Black Flag WTF, Walk Through Fire, if Black Flag 1 Pineapple Perception is a hit like Cyberfrog Blood Honey is, then it would justify a box. If we have moderate success and it pays for itself, then great. I just don't want to assume that it's ready for the box set treatment yet. I would love that. I would. But that's probably more for a second or third campaign down the line. Let's see here. Weapons Division. Let's see, Boom Bap Division. Oh yeah, I love Boom Bap. Using good influence to motivate creativity. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see. Time travel. That's right. See, Luke gets it. That's 100% right. That's 100% right. My pleasure to give the response. Sorry I'm so behind the chat. Do you think that U.S. comic industry will end up more like UK Rebellion, publishes Judge Dredd as monthly magazine type subscription, been subbed ages? This is what I know for sure. Things are not going to be the way they used to be. I was talking to Will Perdomo, my co-writer of Black Flag, before we went on live, and we were talking about the state of the world right now with everybody staying in with the quarantine and all that. Was that the cause of the comic industry falling in on itself? No. The answer is no. I feel like the comic industry was at a certain point built like a Jenga tower, very sturdy, organized, and slowly but surely wokies came in and started pulling pieces out, right? Pulling pieces out, and it got flimsy like this, and then the world situation happened, and they just tapped a piece, and it all fell. But that piece, if it was a solid industry to begin with, and that piece had been pulled out before, it still would have been sturdy. I think things are exposed now. What's going to need to happen, I think Comicsgate is the beginning of it, is thinking about the fans. Thinking about the fans first. That's what the U.S. comic market needs to be doing. Thinking about the fans, what the fans want. Thinking also about retailers. Retailers need to work with fans and publishers. I think right now the publishers may not be having an open ear for that, given some of the content coming from them in the past few years. The distributor, Diamond, I just have no love for Diamond. Sorry, Diamond. I've got friends there. I'm fans and friends of individuals, but I'm not of the idea itself. I miss the old days of Heroes World and Capital and Diamond being three healthy distributors, and being not a monopoly. I think that has a lot to do with it. But I think maybe the subscription model might be the case. But I also think there needs to be opportunities for retail. I think retail needs to evolve. I think the creators need to evolve. I think distribution needs to evolve. And publishers definitely just need to focus on what the fans want. I think we've spoken. We used to speak with our wallets. We still speak with our wallets. So make stuff we like. That's my answer on that. Okay. Reagan Lodge, you're hyped for Black Flag, man. So am I. I'm hyped myself. Embroidered patches as a campaign stretch goal. Death Metal Hero. I don't hate that idea, sir. I don't hate that idea. I'm gonna write that down. You guys, if that happens, you think Death Metal Hero. Patches O'Houlihan. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Let's see. You should do 13. Mike Green, you're funny, man. Thanks for the answer. Makes sense. Yeah. Any chance for a Spawn Black Flag cover variant down the line? Probably not. One of the reasons Todd didn't ink this new cover is he is adamant about only doing stuff for Image, and this would have to have an Image eye on it. And I know that for that to happen, a lot of politicking would have to happen. And those politics are very democratic, so that would be a very long process, is what I think would end up being the case. I wish you would look at my art and give me pointers one day. My art is too stiff. Couch doodles. I put it in the chat earlier. The email address you want to send art to. Let me find my phone. I don't know what I did with that phone. It's ICU, like Incredible Comics Universe, ICU Tryout Hub So ICUTRYOUTHUB, ICU Tryout Hub at gmail.com. Right now we're taking writing submissions and inking submissions and color submissions, but why not take a look at our work too? And it's not just submissions. If you guys just mark on there that you want to critique, maybe I can do some online critiquing. I will tell you this as a preface. I don't mince words. I'm not going to bust Eric Larson or Neil Adams on you and insult you or anything like that, but I will tell you how it is. And I will also, more importantly, follow it up with my advice on how to remedy those things. I will also tell you what you're doing right. So if you want to send them, ICUTryoutHub@gmail.com. Reagan Lodge, thank you for the $2 super chat. Day one backer, Black Flag looks anabolic. Yeah, T to the max, full amounts of Mountain Dew and the titty milk. I wish I had a titty milk cut of that Black Flag promo, but YouTube. Let's see here. Chaotic Comic says, I'm no freestyler, but I rap and I'm a CG creator. We should write up a rap song. I know a guy who makes beats and a homie who actually raps. Possibly. I have I've crafted 60 beats myself. I use Logic, I use Reason, I use an MPC, and I also use Fruity Loops, aka FL Studio. So if the beats I go for, I'm not going to be biased to my own. I'm going to be biased to where the heat is. So if you got something, that'd be great. I got rhymes. I got CG rhymes. It'd be fun. It'd be a lot of fun. Okay, let's see. Any more? Hail, Fenry Fire. Hail, my brother. You can go ahead and start chipping away at the tent pole, Gail Simone. I hope she remembers that. All right. Let's see. Any more? Sorry about that. How can I get you for an interview, Ballon d'Or? Hey, man, how are you? Just reach out, man. Right now is a good way. You can hit me on that email on ICU Tryout Hub. You can hit me up on a DM on Instagram or join the Facebook group. You can also coordinate it with Mike Green. Those are many ways to do it, so I'd be down for it. Especially if it's, I like doing it on camera. We can talk about Black Flag, talk about comics and creativity. Let's see what we got here. Any other stuff? Here, rap the EVS Butler song. I don't know the EVS Butter song. All I know is I know he sang Islands in the Stream, the Kenny Rogers, and I used to enjoy his old piano live streams. I'm a big fan of that. I would love to do a duet with E. He could be the piano man, and I'll come in with the raps. We are gonna show you guys Bacon one more time, and then we will jump into the live drawing. All right, we are back. So we're going to jump into the live stream of the drawing. I just wanted to get this thing prepped and ready before. Let's see here. We got Rock Don't Stop. Michael, how are you, sir? Thank you for the super chat. What up, Miami Eddie? How are you? Good to see you. 170 in the chat. That is awesome. Daddy can't rape us all tonight. That's a lot of comedy in that. Okay, let's jump in, and I will check the chat every now and then to see if you guys are saying anything. I'll keep an eye out for super chats and for other stuff. I'm gonna turn up these beats. So these beats came from me, man. Sorry, Reagan. I know. Bacon, bacon, bacon. All right, so when I go in, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a pencil layer for sniper. It'll be our secondary one. Somebody asked about doing a tutorial on this, so we might as well do it live. So what I'll probably end up starting with is just looking at it. I'll try to find a point of interest for something that I want to draw. Maybe we'll start with the pouches. Why not, right? So then when I'm thinking about pouches, I'm thinking about how they will go along the edge. We are live, Mecca side. And I sent your stickers out today, by the way. Hopefully you dig them when you get them. All right, so we're gonna put his I'm gonna rough his pouches in just because I'm a little on the cold side right now. And by cold I mean a lot of times I need to warm up my hand and brain. I've been so busy talking to you guys that I wasn't warmed up. And as you can see, when I start drawing, my talking abilities go out the damn door. They just do. It's like I get into draw mode. All right. I want to make sure my pen's the right size too. If I draw with a pen that's too thin, it'll shrink down and be too hard for Shelby to see it. If I draw it with a pen that's too big, it'll be too chunky and not look right and consistent with the rest of the cover image. So as long as I keep it within a certain pixel density, it'll keep it looking authentic. That's one of the things that ends up happening with digital artists. Like, watch, I'll show you an example. If I bring the pixels down to 1 and I start going, ooh, details, let's go and put all these little tiny details in here because it's fun. Ooh, I like detailing up this pouch. But then when you go into the cover, when it prints, those are completely gone. They're a full-on loss. Like, why did you waste your time, right? So what I'll do is, like I said, I'll keep it right around 7/8, and that to me, when this shrinks down, seems like the right size. 8. There we go. And guys, please hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. You'll get, and make sure you hit notifications. I've got that Todd McFarlane interview, hopefully with improved audio. I can never say it'll be totally cleaned up audio, unfortunately. Like I said, it's like trying to take cream out of coffee after you've already put it in. It's definitely a process. So I'm gonna put the cool little gadget on his shoulder here. I like this bit where it's like a laser scanner, like Predator had, you know. And they had these. I also noticed that they had them in Michael Bay's The Rock. The Marines, when they broke into Alcatraz to save the hostages, they all had these little deals on them. So I don't know, I think they're cool looking, like they're functional somehow. All of this stuff is made by Emoto Tech. Pouches all day. And every now and then, to break things up, I'm gonna just throw some bacon at you guys. Also, maybe show you this. I don't know if you guys remember that. You guys remember that? 1994. It was good. Good stuff. I had a really good time making that. And remember what Joey Fatone says.
Joey Fatone here. All I gotta say is Black Flag, Pineapple, Perception, and Frega Boom!
I just want to officially say there will be no fudge detected. All fudge will be deleted. Do not tell about the fudge. It's my favorite joke that I learned about late. It's like all the fudge talk. I'm like, what is all this fudge talk? And then it was explained to me what fudge talk was, and I think it's hilarious. Have you guys seen how Uncle E's stream did $500,000? He's up to $500,000. I like to think I'm the one that pushed him over to that. When he said he was only $37 away, I went on and I put in a second backing. I went back for a second helping of Wreck Planet, and I think I'm a better person for that. Not that I'm a better person, but I am made a better person because I contributed to Wreck Planet. I got that super pack, the two super pack. Do I give him rips and tears? I feel like he needs it. I feel like he needs rips and tears. So what I'll do here is stretch that fabric over this muscle right here, like this, and then say that it's coming out here. Do that. Like that, and that way I can put the bit of that muscle underneath there. Shadow. Going back to Matt Svilar's question, do I remember a character named Pouches? No, but I remember the pouch that Liefeld had made. But yeah, going back to the observation thing, like when I'm seeing this image in my head, I'm thinking about all those things that I do when I observe things, because I'm trying to observe this thing that's inside my head, right? So next up, I'm gonna do this arm, and we're gonna do it procedurally, right? So I can start off by saying, okay, we're gonna do all of the outlines of the arm. So, you know, this is like my process. It doesn't have to be your process, but this is how I do it. So I think about the outlines, I think about where some of the shading's gonna end up. Here we go. A little bit thicker here, but when Shelby comes in and inks this, he's gonna add a whole new dimension to this, so I don't really need to go crazy on thick to thin. There we go. So I'm thinking about, when I'm doing this bit of the arm, I'm thinking about sort of the direction of which way the lines go to support what that shape is, right? So I'm saying, there we go. No words. I'm all screwed up with the words. Okay, so this part here is contours. This part here is the bicep going into where the gun is. So now that I've got this shape, I'm going to add some of the shadow value. So this bit here, I'm going to say this cloth is going to go over this bit and cast a shadow here. Same with this. And it's going to recede like that, maybe a little more, just to drop that shape back a little bit more. So we got that. This is gonna these rendering lines here are gonna go and support this shoulder, the contour of the shoulder. But then one of the reasons I really like drawing hair on arms is because it's almost a cheat for the shape of something, right? So if I say, let me get a new layer just to show you what I'm talking about. If I go and I grab this big chunk brush and I imagine my light source, let me me see. There we go. If I imagine my light source is coming this way, what I'll do is I know that it's going to go like this as far as the way the hair, that'll be darker, that'll be like this. So you can see here, and if I go darken the value like this, if I do that and say that's essentially what I'm going to do value-wise with the hair, okay? But I'm going to reduce the opacity on this, but also what I'm going to do with that hair is I'm going to use, when I said I'm using it to do contours, I'm thinking of the shape going around like this, right? I'm thinking of the shape as if it was a wire frame, it would be like this and go like this, right? So I'm gonna do the value of the hair just like that. So if I go, and I'm gonna bring that down slightly smaller. And then as I pull it towards the light source, I make the hairs a little bit shorter as they're on the edge of the arm. Since they're darker, I'm gonna do this. And you can see it's almost like stippling, right? But you do it in with hair instead of stipple. So you can see how that goes around the shape. And then of course when Shelby comes in, he'll make it even better. What DPI do I use? Adino is asking. This I think is, here we can just look at this. I made a little bit bigger, but we can take a look at the size. Right now I've got this at 4,153 pixels by 5,500 pixels, and it's based off of the size of the cover that was underneath it. I think might be 600 DPI, like 11 by 17 at 600 DPI, but I'm not 100% sure. All right, so here we're doing some more of this hair here. We're gonna have that tattered thing go over this so I can be a little bit sloppier, but you'll notice, see right here, I put a little bit of a halo in between this part of the arm and there. I'm gonna try to do a little bit of rim lighting, reflective lighting. So I'm gonna have this, do this, and I'm gonna just leave a little bit there in between for the dark areas, and you'll see it looks like a bit of a light is hitting the back of that arm, but only enough light to sort of give you the edge of that, so like a edge lighting, and that's a way to give it a little more dimensionality. Again, as tight as I'm going, Shelby's gonna hook this thing up. He's just incredible. But you know, I have fun doing this. So sometimes if I go a little bit over, it's just because I'm having a good time. That's really what it boils down to. So here we'll do this. Same here, a little ziggy. And you can see I'm changing the direction of the way the lines go to go along with the form. Buy a lotto ticket, win $1 million, and holla. Damn, I won, and without any friction, I go see a movie, Pulp Fiction. All right. This is regular rendering. I'll probably end up doing a debris pass as well. But you could see this is how that arm is turning out. What I'm gonna do now is just reduce this down slightly and create a new layer. We're gonna put that armband in, the one I was telling you about, kind of like the one he's got here. So let's see, do this, tear, rip, tear, like that. It's gonna be tight around there where it's against the arm. There we go. That goes like that. Hit that part of the muscle. Same with this, where it's tightest around the muscle. Add a bit of tension here, here. Same with there, where it's catching on that muscle. And we get the idea that that's like that. Maybe some shadow underneath a couple of the bits, just so we get the illusion that it's up and on top. Then we go to the layer underneath. I'm going to use a selection tool just so it's cleaner instead of using just the eraser tool. Boop, boop, boop. Man, I'm in the mood to steal some quats, you know? I don't know about you guys, but I'm down for some quats. Alright. Clear, boop, like that. And that just deletes out that part. And if I bring this back up again, you can see that now that armband fits right on there, like it done supposed to. The other thing too is when I shrink it down and up, I realize like, oh no, this shoulder needs more hair. So I'll come in and give it more hair. There we go. That looks good to me. That looks good to me. Man. I think it's time to show you guys one more time the promo for Black Flag. Hopefully you don't get sick of it, but it's something I'm excited to show you. It's how the original series was made along with how we're making this one.
Joey Fatone here. All I gotta say is Black Flag, Pineapple, Perception, and Frega Boom!
Oh yeah, we are back. Thank you guys for your patience. We're gonna jump in and draw some more of Sniper. The great thing about working on this process is the design part is ever changing, ever growing, as I do more research and get reference and stuff and have my Pinterest board, I find new and fun things that I like to add to the designs. So let's jump back in. Here we go. And I'll be answering questions too. Let's see. King KDI says, I think you should do the promo every 20 to 30 minutes. It keeps it in people's minds like ads that will seep into the consciousness of viewers. King KDI, I like that thought process. It is 3:55. We'll be back. Good. Yeah, Miami Eddie, man, if I could have put a grenade in there, I would have. Stupendous said he had a bunch of hollow grenades, and that would have been the way to go. Okay, so I'm looking at Sniper here. I like this version of him that I did recently, and I'm going to use that as partial reference of where things are, because sometimes there's a lot to keep track of. And I'm a big fan of continuity for continuity's sake. He's not necessarily in the same gear he was wearing in that variant, that Red Sonja variant, which is available from Indiegogo right now. Red Sonja and Evil Ernie. Check it out if you haven't. That link is in the description. But there are certain design elements that I like to keep on Sniper no matter what gear he's wearing. You would think that the beret would be one of those, but it's not. As long as he's got the Black Flag shield, that's super crucial and important to me. Also, the skull belt buckle is a big one for me. The knives that have the skulls on them, that's important. And I think that's about it. I mean, I'm a big fan of his duct tape gloves as well, or electrician's tape gloves. But that's about it. I mean, there's other stuff that could be totally changed, but those are the things that really matter to me. To bring this brush size back up. Yeah. And I'll be answering questions. If you guys want to drop super chats in here, we can do that. And if you guys want me to do a freestyle rap at the end, the best way to get freestyle rap done is by dropping a super chat and give me a suggestion word, and I will add it to the freestyle. And at the very end, we will close out with a song with whatever words you want, and I'll bring the heat. All right. So what I'm gonna do, you're gonna see me do something called a draw through. Even though his head's here, I want to make sure that I get the collar in the right place. So I might just draw right through this to get it right. So got that going. This would come down, and this would come up and around, or I might not, who knows. Let's see, this comes up and around. This would be here, that would come in down here, that would go here. So it doesn't work for me. It's because of this part right there. That part would be bumped up slightly because of that muscle that would do this. See how that little shape change gave a little credence to that muscle shape that's underneath there. That's important, is that you're thinking about what's going on with all of the shapes. I want to thank the 146 people that are here right now. Thank you guys for staying through and past the interview to watch this. You're watching the cover of a Black Flag Pineapple Perception being drawn. I'll show you guys the layout over here. And here you go. Here's some of Shelby's inks. I don't know if you guys want to check out this preview of Shelby's inks. But this is what Shelby's inks look like over my work. You can see it when you sign up to the Black Flag campaign, the pre-launch campaign. You can see some of these inks, but you could look at how beautiful these inks are. This is what Shelby's gonna do to my stuff. He's gonna hook it up as good as I'm penciling this stuff. Shelby's gonna come in and hook it up. Let's see, what else do we have in here? Here's the layout. There we go. So that's what we're working on right now. Is we're working on this portion, Sniper, for those of you guys watching this. So you're watching this happen. This is crowdfunding on April 25th on Indiegogo. That's in 15 days. So I'm getting this cover put together, getting my 5 pages all wrapped up and inked and everything, and ready to go. So you guys are watching it happen real time, which is very exciting for me to be able to present this stuff to you like that. Let's go back up to where Sniper was. Here he is. Make sure I got him. Actually, you know what? That Shelby drawing, or the Shelby ink, the Shelby inks is something I wanted to look at because I really dug what I did for the wrist launcher. So it was a bullet on a bullet. Here we go. There it is. Yeah, bullet on a bullet. So I liked that. A lot of times we were doing this stuff by the seat of our pants. So you know, a lot of times people, you guys remember when people would give Liefeld shit for, oh, he drew the sword on this side, he drew the sword on that side, and it was like all inconsistent. Well, I think it's just because he was drawing so fast. I think that's what it boiled down to. All right. So when I draw fast, I'm excited about the stuff I'm working on, but also, like I said, I'm a big fan of continuity. This may not be entirely seethed in continuity, but it will certainly match up. Go, boom. Do. All right, we're gonna go back. We're gonna use this thing as a reference layer, like we had before for that shading. So I'm gonna grab big chunk here. I'm gonna take this across and say those are those shells again, like this. See how those go across. We got those grenades here as well. Do I want that shoulder pad there? I'm not sure if I do. Yeah, I do. So that would come out like this. See if it changes his shape. Yeah, actually I like it. Every now and then I gotta double check these things. So the shield would go here. So this is almost like a foggy, vague version of what I see in my mind when I do that. I'm a huge fan. I'm noticing guys talk about the 90s in the chat. I'm a huge fan of 90s comics. I make no bones about it. I'm a big, huge fan. Let me merge this down. Merge down. Let me move this layer in between here because it's a reference layer. Whoa, what happened there? Oh, it turned. Looks like it turned everything on. That's crazy. It's weird, I don't remember turning on all those layers. Sometimes Procreate does those things where it goes crazy. I don't want all those layers. I want that one and this one and this one only, and I want to be working in this one. All right, sorry, I was totally spacing out. The reason I love the 90s so much is that's really when I was collecting comics, and the most crazy about collecting comics, and it's when the best stuff was on stands. We had Rob Liefeld, Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, Art Adams, Dale Keown, Eric Larson. Everybody was making comics, and they were on the stands at the same time. The stories were freaking awesome. They were thinking about the fan. So for me, I like Comicsgate. It seems like a natural place for me, for Black Flag, just out of the simple fact that all the stuff that I'm about is the same thing excuse me, that CG is about, I guess. And 90s comics to me feels like it's right up in there. I don't know, 90s comics, and Black Flag is a 90s comics. I'm a 90s comic artist. I like 90s hip hop. I don't know, it all makes sense to me. Like serendipitous, I think, is what they call it. All right, and then we said we're gonna pop those grenades in there too, right? So watch this. This is a cool trick. See that? See how it made a perfect ellipse? And if I do this over here again, and I hold it, that's one of the cool things about Procreate, is you can do these ellipses, and as long as you hold your pencil down, it will automatically kind of clean the shape up for you when it comes to doing curves and straight lines. So that's going to be super helpful, especially in the opening sequence of Black Flag, Pineapple Perception. What up, Mr. Cosley? I just got your Twitter message. I miss you, homie. I hope everything's going good. Throw some big love out. I'm remembering Tony Pony, of course, and the Zucchini. Awesome. If you guys know Jamie Cosley, check him out on Twitter. He's got some really cool stuff. Incredible cartoonist, really swell dude. I've known him since back in the old Black Flag days. All right, so we're gonna put that big old shoulder pad over here, because shoulder pads, right? So then I can adjust that over there. See, do I like that shape? I like that shape. I do. Okay, I'm gonna be taking a look for any questions. No questions. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to send a super chat, or just to ask a question. You can do that too. But your super chats help pay for the streaming software that I'm using, which allows me to screen share and do all this stuff that you're seeing happen in real time. So it's all appreciated. Here we go. I'm gonna do a little bit of overlap on that, just so it overlaps the shield just slightly to kill that tangent. The tangent was driving me bananas. 3 clips, 3 girls says, you saved me from committing suicide. Well, don't commit suicide. You are here for a reason. Live your life. You know what I mean? We are here for you if you need somebody to talk to. Right? Here we go. We put the shield on there like this. I'm always thinking about how it falls along the shape. This will go like that, but it won't. That's not how it goes. If that flag went along with the shape, it would do that. Let me see. No, I don't like that at all. I'm always thinking about how the shapes interact with one another, and even though that flag, the shield was sitting on there correctly, for the overall shape of what's going on with Sniper and all the other shapes, it needed to have a little bit more of a curve to it like this. So now I will put that flag on there and make sure these lines are good. Stupendous, what up, Stupendous? Insider image stories you can share. Yeah, I can tell you this insider story. Rob Liefeld was not fired from Image. He quit, and even though there was all that talk that he was fired, he did not get fired. That's a piece. Also, Image Comics started off, but I mean, I guess this is old news. Image Comics started off as just Eric Larson, Todd McFarlane, and Rob Liefeld. They amassed getting up to 7 people rather quickly after Jim Lee had said yes. Wills came in by proxy, and Valentino came in by proxy with Rob, and then Mark came in. So that's how that happened. Let's turn off the Sniper rough layer just to see how that is dropping in. Also turn off our reference layer. That's looking good to me. Nice and clean. You guys are seeing my process. Let's see. We've got another super chat from Chaotic Neutral Comics. Hello, Chaotic. Frega, you're a beast. Glad to have a dude like you claiming CG. I feel like a product of a healthy mix of 90s junk food and high octane. Cannot wait to get my hands on Black Flag. Thank you very much, man. I'm having a blast drawing these characters again. And I'm just so thankful that you guys are out there and ready for it and want it, you know. This is the right time to be doing it. I feel very excited. I was talking with my co-writer Will Perdomo about this, about just how crazy the universe is and how there's synchronicity, and you know, it was like Ethan and I have been friends since '95, and we did a lot of our talking and bonding when we were both working on Wolverine back in 2001. Of course, we went off and did our thing, and I saw CG happening, and always Ethan's my friend, but you know, there's all the drama regarding it, and me wanting to go over, me experiencing sort of the same sort of anxieties and fears that one would, you know, I know it's not a hate group, but people think it is, and like what can happen if I join, and then, you know, I had my McFarlane interview, and listening to him and really just lining up with what he said, lining up with a lot of the stuff that I talked with Ethan about, then having the stuff happen on Twitter. It was like everything just felt exactly right. You know, I remember thinking when I was singing about Black Flag about wanting to make sure that I had the time to do it, and now that we're all quarantined, I feel like I'm locking myself down. You know, I'm taking it as an opportunity to really lock myself down, and which means I can put extra detail and more of that Mountain Dew and titty milk all over this stuff. So I just feel very grateful for you guys, grateful for everything that's happening, the good, bad, and ugly. All right. Let's see here. I haven't read the old Black Flag books. Can you tell me a bit about the old adventures they had? Asks Glimfire. Okay, well, let me pull... I don't want to pull that up yet. I can pull it up. Let's see. So you're looking at Sniper. Actually, I can do a walkthrough on my iPad. Why don't we do that? Let's have a merry merry walkthrough on the old iPad. Here we are going into Goodreader. I accept. Check. There's my Akira's. Let's find Black Flag. Here we are. We are looking at Black Flag as we talk. This is the original cover of Black Flag. This is the one that they're all bursting through. So we have this character here. His name is Gorilla. Gorilla was an experiment from a company called Emacs. Let me see if I can find the pages with him. So here we are. Here's Gorilla. He is being experimented on. This is before he's even part of Black Flag. The military is doing experiments. This guy wants the project fast-tracked. He just starts pressing buttons, not knowing what he's doing because he's a jerk. Gorilla is released before he's ready. He takes off, he escapes in a Jeep saying, gotta go, because that's all he knows how to say up until that point. So he is basically an escaped weapon that was made by this company called Emacs. This character here, his name is Dalton Snipes, aka Sniper. He is a man haunted by his dreams. That's number one. We see this in Black Flag number 1 here. We see what looks like him on assignment, but then this guy, Black Rain, shows up and tells him all this stuff about knowing his soul, knowing his essence. They face off each other, and Black Rain punches a hole through him, causing him to wake up in yet another nightmare. How did he end up in Black Flag? You're going to find out that he used to be part of this Landstorm platoon. He ran this Landstorm platoon, which was a major part of the military. He grew up going through private schools, going through officer training. That's how he became a general so quick. But they left him for dead. He was betrayed by his government, his squad, found out that everything was a lie. When he wakes up, he is found by this guy named Shrine, who trains him back to health. Not unlike Ra's al Ghul and Bruce Wayne. Now we've got this character here. Her name is April Emoto. April Emoto is a tech heiress to the Emoto Corporation. For all intents and purposes, we might as well just say that Emoto is... here's her dad here. Emoto is kind of like Apple, kind of like Tony Stark Corporation. They make toys and weapons and stuff. And then as the dad is debuting this morph technology, he is attacked by Dojiyama clan, and his daughter fights to protect him, only to find that he had been killed and the morph suit had been stolen. The morph technology came from a character that, let's see if I can find him. Now we'll just jump into just seeing him right out of the gate. This is Rascal. He's an alien. Well, you'll learn a little bit more about his exploits, but he escapes from his situation and ends up in Dagger City, and in trade for Sanctuary, he gives them his morph technology, and that's how the Emoto Toys gets their morph technology. I'm going all over the place. I wasn't quite prepared to give the run through. This is Spot. He has the power to reach into dreams, print media, videos, things like that, and pull the things out. So if he saw a picture of a hamburger, he could reach into the ad and pull the hamburger out. This is Bubble. I call her the original safe space because she can create force field bubbles around herself, around enemies that are impenetrable, causing protection. And also she can use them for transport. She can bounce them, pop them, jump into another, pop and bounce. So she's got sort of a jumping around abilities using those really cool bubbles. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of a peek into things. Let's take another look at the chat, see if there's any other questions. Let's see. Chaotic says, I've had those same fears. I know it's not about hate, but perception matters. Good on you. Yes, sir. It's absolutely about perception. And that's one of the reasons I decided to call the issue of Black Flag number 2 WTF, Walk Through Fire, because I felt like I walked through fire and melted off all of the old, and the new that was revealed was much stronger. But you got to walk through the fire. Let's see. When you draw digital, do you have to size 11 by 17? Synonymous asks. I do 11 by 17 because that's the size most comic book pages are drawn on. It's like 10 by 15, I think, is the actual dimensions. But yeah, you wanna stay in the dimensions of a comic unless you're gonna change it up. But most printers have that standard set for comics, and when you do a special size, you incur more costs for custom cutting. Imoto-san, that's right. Draw them boobies. Yeah, those Pat Lee's boobies are fresh. Yeah, Pat can do it. KDI says, did you ever play the game Portal? I didn't, though I know Steve Merchant was a voice, and I directed Steve Merchant in some cartoons. Down a Fraggle Rock, clap, clap. Yeah. The interesting thing that I run into regarding Black Flag, and I get it a lot, is people will say, yo, that character is like, for example, you're like, it reminds me of this character from Portal. And I always say Black Flag debuted in 1993 is when the first one came out, but these characters debuted in 94. So anytime someone says, oh, that looks like Overwatch, you got a gorilla and I go, 1994, you can take a look. This team existed in its current state. There's nothing different about these characters. Geisha's always had a motorcycle. I've always had a purple gorilla. I always had 2 little kids. I always had a big guy with guns. I always had a magician. I always had a zany alien. This is just how it is. I've had people say, man, Sniper looks like he came from Gears of War. Again, take a look, 1994. So I'm not saying I set the trend or anything like that, but what I am saying is I certainly didn't follow one. And that's all I have to say about that, as Forrest Gump would say. All right, so next up, I think we're going to tackle this gun. And one of the cool things that we have in Procreate, which I'll show you guys here, you guys will like this. I hope you'll like it. There's a thing called Drawing Assist, right? So if I go over here and I go over to Drawing Assist and I put Edit Drawing Guide and I go to Perspective and I say, this is where one of the perspective points are. This is where Snipers is running from. So if I do this, I'm gonna move this out here, right about there. That's where my perspective is, like that. Now if I put assisted drawing on, see how I hit that switch? If I go in, I create a new layer for his gun. I'm gonna bring the opacity down on him. I'm gonna turn the assist off on this layer, but I'm gonna turn it on this layer. All the lines that I draw right now on this gun that are perpendicular to one another will go automatically to that preset vanishing point that we put in there. So I don't have to get too crazy or mindful on with a ruler. I can just start going through and putting these lines in, and my gun will be in perspective, right? So I go in, I'm dropping these straight lines in, and we're able to drop some of those lines in, right? So I'm going like this, I want that there. What else do we need? One in here, that's where his hand's at. Boom, that. Probably one underneath here. That one there, that one there, that one there. Okay, so now I got those in. So I want to take my drawing assist off, like this, drawing assist off. I'm going to turn the drawing guide off because I don't need it anymore. And then we're going to use that other tool that we had earlier. Remember the ellipse tool? So I do this, and I can pop my ellipses in. Like that. Freehand some of these as well. Boom. Thinking about the rendering in there. So this is a quick way. Oh, you hear that beep back there? That's a bird. That's a bird. Isn't that weird? So then, because I'm gonna turn this assist right back on again. I wanted that to be a little bit of overlap on that scope. So it wasn't completely butted up, so I can get a little more depth out of this little scope thing. That one didn't work because my pencil broke up. There we go. There we are. So this is usually like some of the boring stuff. I used to not have a good time doing these kind of things. You know, what do you call it? The tech. But it's weird, you know, I had a conversation with Carl Potts when I was a kid, and he said the way to get good at something is to draw the things that that you don't like. You'll get better at them. So I try to do more of that stuff. All right, let's see here. So yeah, I started drawing more guns, looking at more tech and things like that, and I found that, like, wait a second, you know what? I think I enjoy this. I think I'm having fun doing this. It's kind of a weird thing that happens once you get into it. So again, one of the things I try to do when I create this stuff is I try to think about how it could possibly function. So boom, that goes there. Let me look at what direction that would be good to go in. Towards or away? Okay, this way. So I'm going to put this line here. I always call these like it's like if it was a giant screw or like an aspirin thing, but it looks like it could be sealed and come undone. And that was like one of those things Stephen Platt would do, you know, is he'd put those dots and rivets on things. There we go. See, that's the other thing you can do in Procreate. If you draw and hold a line, you can make it straight, and then as you pull and adjust it, you can move it whatever direction you need it to go in. And of course, like I said, I always go and I do something that I call the damage pass, or where we put all the debris or damage, battle damage. So we're saying this is gonna cut over this way. This is gonna be up a little higher than that, just to infer. This goes like this. Going back into that shitty nonverbal part. Sorry about that, gang. Go. That looks right. So maybe I'll put a little bit of this debris in there. One of the places you can see that kind of stuff, let me see if I can pull it up on my computer. See, you guys are probably a fan of Stephen Platt. Where is it? Let me type it in. Oh, there we go. There it is. You guys remember this Wizard poster by Stephen Platt? This is like one of my favorite images. And it's what I call the super. Oops. Let's see here. Boom. It's a super inspiration for me in Black Flag. You guys remember this one? So like when I say, like when I do the debris, say like on this gun right here, which is what I was working on, what you guys can see. Let me see if I can find something like that. This guy has a gun right there. There you go. See how he puts all the little chunks and debris and stuff on his guns? I love that shit. I love it. And that's what I aim to do. I aim to get that feeling, Somebody had asked earlier how you get into drawing when you don't want to draw. Well, I look at something like that and I'm like, I need to make something just like that, just as cool. So when I'm done, I feel those feelings and, anyway, back into it. Oh, wait, it's time for bacon. And if you guys have any questions right after this Black Flag promo break, I'll be answering questions. If you hit me with a super chat, you can ask some of that deep stuff. I answer questions regardless, but remember those super chats help the channel, helps pay for this streaming, helps take care of all of the things to make Black Flag awesome. And you are watching the Couch Doodle Show. That's me right here. I am Fregaboom, the head ninja-neer, Imagine Ninja here at Couch Doodle, the creativity department of Incredible Comics. Let's jump into that promo one more time. Bye, y'all.
Todd McFarlane here, creator of Spawn and co-creator of Venom, and you're watching Couch Doodle with Frag-a-Boom. Stay tuned.
Joey Fatone here. All I gotta say is Black Flag, Pineapple, Perception, and Frag-a-Boom!
Oh yeah, we are back. We are on hour 2. Thank you guys very much for joining. I am your host, Frag-a-Boom, head Imagine Ninja, an engineer here at Couch Doodles, the creative department of Incredible Comics. We are Comics Gate. We are here. We are fans. You are fans. You are Comics Gate. We are one. Oh yeah. Let's take a look at the chat, see if there's any questions. No questions. We're going to jump right back into drawing. Let's see here. No questions, no questions, no questions. And then we have a super chat from King KDI for 2. I think that's pounds. Mac and cheese with gammon or bacon with spaghetti. What is gammon? I'm going to ask a question back to you. What is gammon? Because my answer is yes to all of that. It all sounds good. Man, you let me know what gammon is, and I will answer that question, but I want it all. That's my answer. Is I'm hungry now. Let's jump right back into drawing. We're in the middle of drawing Sniper's gun, and I was just talking to you guys about adding some of that splat debris to stuff while we do the gun. But let's get back in here and add more of the tech to this bad boy. So we break up the shape of the tech like this. Let's see if that works. Nah, I don't like that. It divided the gun in a weird way. Or do I? Actually, I do like it. We'll keep it. So this comes back like this. This drops down here. This comes up and over that part of the grenade. We can't have it be perfect on the grenade. We got a little bit of overlap happening there. Except I don't like how thick that line is. Let's just do this. Boom. Keep it organic. This goes like that. Again, we don't want this to look too machined, right? Any other goodies coming for your dynamite cover? Hind leg of pork after it's been cured. Oh shit, man. I want that. Yeah, from what I understand, on the dynamite cover, there's going to be a sketch cover, not sketch cover, but a remark option for both of those. So I think they're going to be announcing that soon. They asked me to drop some quick sketches earlier as an example of like what a quick remark looks like. So I did these really quick just to show, like if I was to draw a sniper on a cover, like remarks aren't supposed to take you more than a couple of minutes. So like I basically would draw like a sniper or a gorilla, and that's the examples of what they look like. So these will be I think they're going to be offered in the next couple days from what I understand. That's what I was told. Here we are. We're back here. Man, now I want some of that gammon, man. Salted ham. Oh, I want it. Mac and cheese. I'm gonna pick mac and cheese then. If I had to be, we were talking about the specificity and the answer in that, just to that question alone. I want that gammon and mac and cheese, man. It reminds me of like my mom. She had this mac and cheese recipe, and we would always have kielbasa, sliced kielbasa to go with it. So that's right in line. Any salted meat with that, it's just, yeah, man. Sign me up. Sign me up. Okay, that's where his hand is gonna go on here. Yeah, boom. Gambling is life. Yeah. Yeah, guys, get that dynamite cover while it's still available, because once I had an agreement with the folks over at Dynamite. Once the Pineapple Perception campaign kicks in, there will be no more other Black Flag items available in comic book form. So that will be your chance to get it. Sorry, I always, whenever I get into think mode, I get a little quiet. I'm weird like that, but I guess everybody gets that way. I don't know how like some art teachers can do it, and like I've watched other people draw and talk, and you know, as much as I'm drawing and talking right now, I'm 10 times better when I'm not talking. You know, because they're different skills. Go put this mount up in there, and then I can erase parts out. That's the great part about digital, is you can just keep adding layers, right? So if I do this, except that didn't go along with the contour, so we do this, that one's slightly off. That's okay. Don't need to always be working on perfection. You always got to ask, is someone going to say that's off and then hate the drawing, or do you just keep moving forward? So, and sometimes they don't even notice if it's off or not, right? So one of the things that's cool, like I said, about digital is even when I'm done with this gun, if I wanted to add another layer of it, I could. Send me some gammon through Twitter. Oh yeah. Alfred Ortiz. How's that for quick super chat addressing? They're happening like this. How do you personally improve your drawings after so many years as an artist? It's like teaching an old dog new tricks. Are they always trying to adapt? If so, what do you do? Frig-a-boom! Fantastic question. One in which I'd be happy to answer. Number one, for a very, very long time, I've always had this feeling that I sucked. And anytime anybody would tell me I was good, I wouldn't hear it. And anytime anybody said that I sucked and that I was a Liefeld clone or, you know, a shitty 90s artist or whatever, those were the thoughts that I believed in. I was like, yeah, I fucking suck. They're right. And that I fed those fears. But then I stopped and I remembered, like, again, this goes back to how do I inspire myself. I remember the feeling I had as a kid, and the why I wanted to draw. And the reason why I wanted to draw is I felt like I could manifest anything I wanted. If I saw it in my head and I wanted to make it, I could. The only challenge that I had was my ability to do that, right? And there's different methods we can use to learn how to draw. One is to learn from books, which I recommend. I have a whole batch of books over here, and I can show you right now on my iPad. I have hard copies of all of these, so I don't mind sharing my PDFs and showing you what I've got here. But if you go into my drawing book section, I have a bunch of different books that I like. like this one called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain by Betty Edwards. That one's really good at teaching you how to see. Then of course, you want your anatomy books. I've got books by Andrew Loomis. These are all Andrew Loomis's books. This one here, Figure Drawing for All of Its Worth, is really fantastic and great. I'm going to just go through these in sort of a cursory sort of way, because it's not important to what I have to say, other than that you want to get a good sort of understanding of how forms are put together. But that's still not going to quite cut it, right? So something happened to me about 8 years ago. I saw the work of Kim Jung-gi. I don't know if you guys follow him, but he's worth following on YouTube. Super Annie, USA, I think, Superani. Look him up, Kim Jung-gi. In fact, I have an interview with him coming up. I've already done the interview. I'm just working on the translation. Also, the transcribing McFarlane, that's a good idea. But I saw his work and the fact that he was able to draw things without having any underdrawing, and I realized, I went back to the whole, like, I wish I could draw what was in my head, and running into the disappointment of what came out of my hand or my pencil wasn't as good as what I saw in my head. So I made it my mission, after all of those things about me thinking I suck, and this is, again, 2012 when I saw Jung-gi stuff, I made it my mission to be able to pull what's out of my head out. And I realized there was a checklist of things that prevented me from doing what Jung-gi could do. One of them was, and the important one was, the images that I saw in my head weren't staying long enough. It would be a blip, like, oh, that's cool. And then I'd spend the rest of my time chasing it. And in that chase, I would use my learned knowledge, all the book knowledge that I had, fundamentals, very two-dimensional way of thinking. This was here, this was here, this was here. Active, the active observation that we had talked about earlier. Number two, what I see and what comes out of my hand aren't quite the same. So I needed to make sure I could calibrate my hand to almost be like a printer. The things I would see in front of me, I can basically trace, but I can do that with my mind's eye. So there was learning that calibration of what I see and what I draw are the same thing, and how to make what I see more vivid and longer lasting. So there's two things. The other thing was having a visual vocabulary, a database in my mind of things to draw from. If I'm going to draw a big, super cool gun, but I've never seen one, do I then think about a car engine and how its parts work and make a gun that looks like a car engine, or, like in Liefeld's case, like a vacuum? What do I do about gathering that information? So Matt Svilar, or hopefully I'm saying it right, asked earlier about the active observation. These are the things I ask myself. When I observe things, I try to absorb them from big to small, with also as many senses as I can. How do I feel? Is there a smell? Is there a sight? Is there a sound? Overall, and I gather that information. And then the last thing is to not be married to the results. A lot of times people are put themselves under so much pressure to make something badass that they keep second guessing until paralysis happens. So to get better, my chief aims were to have a stronger access to what was in my head, to have what was in my head be more robust by adding more shit to it, and then having a decision of what my stuff is supposed to look like. And I realized I'm happiest when I draw the most 90s, and the most 90s to me are guys I enjoyed: Stephen Platt, Todd McFarlane, Sam Keith, Art Adams, Rob Liefeld, John Buscema. I know he's not 90s, but he's up there. Frank Frazetta, those guys. And I try to put all of the things I like into my work. And it's also just wanting to stay excited, I guess. And the way to do that is just to keep on going. Back here, let's see if we got some more questions. That was a super chat question. Yo, is the cartoonist kayfabe interview still going to happen? Your boy, I sure hope it is. I reached out to Ed when I told him I was Comicsgate. I explained to him why. If he doesn't come on, I understand why. If he doesn't want me on his show, I understand why. But rest assured, Ed and I are still friends. And, you know, I got to ask him. That's really a fantastic question. You're going to be interviewing Kim Jong-gi. Yes. I've already interviewed him. The interview is all done. I can show you guys a picture, or not a picture, let me see here if I can find, shit, I'm gonna have to find it another time. My computer's acting janky. But yeah, that interview's already done. I just need to get it translated. Lifehill does muffler guns. Yeah, man. Yeah. So Comicsgate, like group that doesn't want established characters, genders, races changed, because I get it who wants their characters changed, but that shouldn't be mistaken with hate. Nah, man. It shouldn't. In fact, it's just a tactic from the other side to get what they want. It's really easy to make accusations of hate and strong things if you want to have someone stay away. It's like yelling fire, you know. Now Zaid has a question here. Why do the chips got ass taste? All will be revealed. That's all I have to say about that. What about Hail Frega? What about Hail? What about? How are you, sir? That's right. Goldschlager says, in the process of copying styles of your biggest influences, you end up creating your own original style. I'm going to come back to this too. Absolutely. And another thing too, and this is more important than copying the style of the people you like, is you want to give an impression. You want an impression of the thing you like. So a fantastic example of that, and you can read it in, let me see if I have a copy, my copy of it right here. Yeah, here it is. This particular issue of Comics Interview, it's Comics Interview number 81. There's a Todd McFarlane interview in here where he talks about how he came up with his version of Spider-Man, and he said what he was trying to do is do his version of a Ditko Spider-Man without ever looking at Ditko. He didn't look at Ditko. He drew what he remembered about Ditko. Bigger eyes, more black in the costume, the underwebbing in the arms, more web on the red part. But when he actually hold them side by side, they're nothing alike. It's his recollection that he was trying to capture, that feeling. And that's why I keep reiterating the idea of capturing a feeling or using all of your senses when you engage with something, is so you can recall it, you know. I told you guys I've kept a journal, right? I've kept multiple journals, but I've kept a journal since 1986, right? This is my journal from 1986. Is my very first journal entry. You guys want to dox it, go ahead. But that's my very first journal entry that I had as a kid. I filled this journal. I filled this journal. I filled this journal. And I'm in the process of filling this journal. This is my newest one. You can see it's taped up because the first entry in this journal is 2002. And then the last entry, I haven't written anything since the world situation has happened, which I need to do because a lot's happened, right? What was my last entry? My last entry was January 17th. A lot has happened since January 17th. But anyway, I'm always trying to record the way I feel, the way things are. That way when I want to recapture it and come back to it, I can. Let's go back into the chat. Looking for super chats and mentions. Let's see. Nope. Inexorable Word Nerd, thank you. I appreciate the love. You guys, if you get a chance, slam and smash and do whatever you do to that like button. It helps the channel, and we want to grow this channel to be massive. Because if you look at the about on my channel, you will see that I'm all about creativity. I'm all about giving up secrets, or better yet, tips to help you access your creative genius and get all of your stuff out there, and create books for us to enjoy. This Comicsgate thing is in its baby stages, and we want it to grow. And I see new creators, young creators like Zaid Comics, and I get so inspired by, I mean, I want to call you the youth because it makes me sound old, but I am. I'm inspired by the youth. I'm inspired by everybody that is coming in and making their own stuff. And if I can be of any help in getting you closer to your stuff faster, then it's my pleasure and my reward for that to be happening. So thank you for the opportunity, especially if you sign up for the channel and hit that notification bell. You're going to be seeing, like I said, more interviews, more tech reviews and things like that, and also definitely behind the scenes stuff on Black Flag, as you're seeing me drawing this cover, man. Hey, Donald, don't leave, don't unsubscribe, man. I know you said it's disgusting, but I'm gonna talk over this bacon as it's happening. Everybody cooks their bacon different. My wife does it like you do it. She puts it in the oven on strips, and it gets all crispy like that. I put it in one big pot like this and let it cook up, because I like the grease cooking on all the directions, and then I end up draining a little bit of the grease and scrambling eggs in the bacon grease, and I put sharp cheddar cheese on those eggs, so I get bacon grease, sharp cheddar cheese, and eggs. So that's all you're gonna get out of my cooking show. Bye. But yeah, some good tasty stuff. What kind of weapons does Sniper and Black Flag team use? How can you describe them? Fantastic question. They use state-of-the-art weapons that are designed by the Emoto Corporation. Some of it has been influenced by alien technology as established in the 1995 issue of Black Flag Zero, when Rascal crash landed on Earth and took refuge with Emoto. A lot of his technology was taken and brought into creating weapons. This is something you saw in the Avengers movies, and you saw it in the Spider-Man movies, but this was a concept that was already in Black Flag. But they're high-tech, state-of-the-art, big bada boom weapons, and you're gonna see some stuff, some brand new stuff happening in Black Flag #1 Pineapple Perception, where I used to call them, they had a name before, but I had to change the name. They were called Alpha Bots, but they might just be called Emotobots or Megabots or whatever. But if you guys are a fan of awesomeness, get ready for what's going to happen in this issue of Black Flag when they face their most awesome challenge so far. There we go. Sorry, like I said, I get a little hard with the words. Yeah, I like the overlap of the forearm better. That Pan Gotham brand, I think my wife the same for a. Yeah, I think it might be. It's either that or Copper Chef. I'm not sure. I know we have the Emerald Lagasse, I think that's his name, the guy who says BAM! We got that set. It was either that or the Viking, and I said, hey, let's hold off on the Viking stuff for later down the line. and we ended up getting that one. But I think the one you saw, it might be Copper Chef. Maybe, possibly, maybe. See how I can freehand this, but then, oops, that didn't work. I can freehand the ellipses, and then I hold it off like this, and it does that. So it cleans it up a little bit. And we do this. I'm gonna turn the drawing assist back on, which is great. Again, with Procreate, you can do this to get all those extras, those extra lines that got away from you, and it'll do straight up and down too, if you so want it to. A little extra doodads in there, little ventilations. But again, these are all lining up with that perspective because we put that active grid on. So when I put the shading in on this, I can also have the shading line up with that perspective, or I can just eyeball it. Eyeballing it's going to be the easier way to go, like that. And then this will line up there, like that. There we go. Oh, I don't like that one at all. That's a big fat bumpity bump. Oh, see, fry some bread. KDI says fry some bread. Yeah, man, I wish I could have bread, but back in October, we had a show with Ryan Stegman and I always mix his name up. It's either Blake Nelson or Nelson Blake, and I apologize if he watches this if I get his name wrong. But wonderful guy. We ended up talking about diet and stuff, and I was having problems with my back, arthritic bone spur. Been going to a chiropractor for a while to remedy that situation. And what I found was, as soon as I took bread and potatoes and things like that out of my diet, and I took sugar out too, but I lost 60 pounds, the pains went away, which made it easier for me to draw longer. I feel better. The quality of my day is better. So as much as I want that bread, I don't get it. Alpha Neba. Frega trying to speak while draw is like Malin doing math at any time. That's funny, man. That's funny. All right, let's see here. Put that there. A little more extra shadow. Pap. Any extra things? Yeah, let's put some sensors inside there. This will go up and under here, and then this will need to latch on and in, so we'll call that, which means we'll need that assist again to get that line in there. Oh, boop. Okay, take assist off. One thing I do wish Procreate had is if I had a keyboard and I could put key commands on here, that would be a dream come true, because it does get kind of a pain in the ass to constantly have to reach over and do grab the tool by itself. But beggars can't be choosers, man. They just can't. If you guys have any questions regarding today's show, any previous shows, Comicsgate, state of the industry, any questions like that, I am more than happy to answer them. You can hit me either with a super chat, which is very appreciated, or just ask a question. Just mention me in your do an @couch doodle so it pops up in red, so I can see it, and we can do it like that. If that's going that way, let's put this aspirin line this way. I call them aspirin lines, but it's really just the idea of like this thing is a screw and can be moved, you know. So put this edge there. All right, and then let's see, what else can I add? This, that, and then let's make it so this actually attaches to something back here. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna do the extra layering or not. I'm thinking about it. And what I mean by that is right now we've got this gun, which is like a basic shape, right? We got a basic shape to this gun and it's looking cool, but I can do something like, let me add a new layer and show you what I mean. If I wanted to take something like this and put a bar that goes over the gun like this, and maybe comes back and goes over like this, and then, you know, comes back like that, or that's just extra business that doesn't need to be there. I think it's extra business. Do you draw with both hands? Thought you did on a previous stream. Yeah, I can draw with both hands. I would say if this is a 100, if my ability to control my hand, I don't mean my drawing ability because we draw with our minds. If my ability is 100 here, I would say my ability on my left hand is probably around 70%. I can still draw, and you know what the drawing is. There's a little bit of motor skill shake. But you know, one of the things I do to kind of keep it in check is I'll switch up and brush my teeth with my left. I'll eat with my left. Do the old stranger. I'll tell you guys a funny joke. You guys ever heard of the stranger? It's where you sit on your hand and you make it fall asleep. And then you do the fappity wappity. That's the stranger. And then there's a thing called a cowboy grip where you throw it a reverse. So that's called the cowboy. But if you do it with your left hand asleep, cowboy style, that's the howdy stranger. So that's your joke of the day. Frega's joke of the day. That's all you get. All right. Does the Todd audio get better? I'm watching it now, but jumped to live to ask this question. Dave Smith, thank you for asking. I'm working on making it better. It was one of those things where it was such a fantastic interview. Everything was fine. And I said, thank you. It took me a long time to get that interview locked down. Did it, super happy. Popped it into the editing bay and was like, what the hell is going on with his audio? I've been doing stuff I can to fix it, but like the way I describe it is to try to take creamer out of coffee after you've already put it in there. It's a process. It will always be present. It's about minimizing it. I can't remove it. I can minimize it, and it's something I'm working on. The other thing I might do is I might end up paying, there's a company called Rev. I might pay Rev to do subtitles. And if they do subtitles, then we could do that. But yeah, I'm really sorry about that. There's, you know, I wish I could go back and say, hey, Todd, you want to do it again? But he's a busy guy, and just getting that interview on its own was enough of a feat. But thank you. Good question, man. And again, I'm sorry for the quality of the audio. Used to play racquetball with both hands. That's good. Good. Oh, we call it the dead hand. That's funny. Let's see here. Let me go back. Just wanted to know, the Ricky Gervais show, especially season 2, is my favorite cartoon of all time. Oh man, thank you, man. Not a lot of people know about the Ricky Gervais stuff. I directed season 2 and 3 and the Clive Warren stuff. Man, that was my trial by fire. That was the first episode that I had directed, and we had gone through a whole lot of stuff that in the legal department because of likenesses and such. We had Clive Owen and Rebecca De Mornay. We could only show their face for a certain amount of time, so many seconds, so many frames. So we had to do all kinds of creative storytelling, like hiding De Mornay's face in with a big hat, or shooting from behind her head. Same thing with Clive Warren. But man, what a good time. That was a fun 2 years of my life working on that show, and had a great crew and learned a lot. But I'm glad it's one of your favorites, man. That makes me happy. Gluten intolerance happens the older you get. I'm a major fan of the caveman diet. I just eat meat, fruit, and veg. Also, will your character be sitting around a table talking about food? No, though Gorilla has an obsession with yogurt. He likes yogurt. I know that. Let's see what else we got. Play racquetball. Got that. Let's see. Slade Wilson. Hello, Slade Wilson. You should do a cover book or specialty sketches where you use only your left hand. Maybe call it the left hand edition. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a fun idea. Let me switch this over so you don't have to see me leaning over. Is it fair to think that everyone loves Spider-Man but no one can stand Marvel Comics anymore? Though Mick M, that's a good. It's a broad statement that you made, but one that I can co-sign on me supporting. I like Ryan Stegman over there at Marvel. I like Pepe Larraz. I like Marta Gracia's work. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. What's up, Artie Bear? Did I do a screw up? I did not screw up, man. My audio wasn't my fault. It was on Todd's side on his phone, and unfortunately, when I did the StreamYard, it wasn't there, but it was there in the final recording, which was very strange. Yeah, you missed me reveal the secrets, man. Let's see. Have you heard of the Dutch rudder? No, but it sounds dirty. What do you think about converting some of your 2D drawings into a STL file so you can 3D print them as resin model action figures and then you can paint them? Might be fun merch. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I would rather just hire a sculptor, somebody I trust and have them sculpt it and then have it scanned. What's your favorite kind of meatball? The kind my wife makes. Hail Caesar Caligula, do you think Todd is Comicsgate? Let me turn on my camera so I can look at you when I say this. I cannot speak for Todd, but I can speak for myself, and I can tell you that I conducted my interview March 5th when I was already in my head CG. After talking to Todd and hearing Todd talk about his opinions on freedom, creators' rights, being answerable to yourself, expectations, how to treat fans, I realized that Comicsgate is the way. It's the only way. Now, that said, I believe that Todd shares many of the same principles that Comicsgate shares. But for me to say he is Comicsgate would be me putting words in his mouth, and I'd rather hear him say those words before I said as much. But I do think that we share a lot of the same ideologies, especially in relation to self-respect. Respecting others, respecting fans, and what we expect out of ourselves in the comics we make. So that's my answer to that. Let's see here. So Todd did a screw up. I see. I think StreamYard did the screw up, Art to Bear. I think StreamYard did the screw up because the echo. I've done some StreamYard streams where people are like, "Do you hear an echo?" I'm like, "No," and then they say, "Well, I hear an echo," and they hear an echo on their side. So I think maybe StreamYard had some sort of issue. The thing that really I have this saying. It's not mine. It's a favorite saying of mine, though, that nothing makes the spirits laugh like a man's plans. Okay, nothing makes the spirits laugh like a man's plans. So the night before I did Todd's interview, he'd already agreed that he wanted to do the interview on via Skype. That's what his team was familiar with. That's what Todd was familiar with. So we said, okay, Skype it is. I tested Skype. I tested ScreenFlow. I made sure the audio was good. I did everything right. The morning of the interview, we found out that Todd's computer wasn't working and his Skype wasn't working on his phone. So I said to him, so I guess it's my fault. I said, let's just do StreamYard. I can record StreamYard. So I had him call in StreamYard from his phone, and we did it from there. But that's it. It's not a bad joke, man. It's not a bad joke. Art to Bear, it's not a bad joke. It's just one of those things where, like, when I found out about the bad audio, I was like, curse the sky. But it is what it is, man. I take things how I get them, and if that's how I got them, then we can just say, hey, that's one of the best interviews ever. Here's not an equivalent, but something like it. My buddy's a huge Beatles fan. I'm a huge Beatles fan. I got copies of some of their studio session, but it's from the mixing room, and you hear Yoko Ono yapping, and the whole time you're trying to listen to what the guys are saying. And I don't mean guys versus girls. I mean the guys as in the Beatles. And you're having to kind of listen over Yoko, and it's like a legendary session, but you got Yoko yapping through it. This is like an awesome session with Todd McFarlane. We have to deal with the echo. So it is what it is, homeboy. Ballon d'Or. The Dutch rudder, that's excellent. It's like an assist. Will you eat McDonald's cheeseburger on stream? Chris Clark. Yeah, man. I'm one of those cheap dudes who buys a McDouble. I tell them no cheese. I buy 2 McDoubles with no cheese, and then I take those 2 McDoubles and I make a quadruple stack. That's what I get when I go to McDonald's. And I go to McDonald's maybe at most twice a year. I go to Taco Bell maybe once a year. That shit will rot your guts, man. I'm not about to want my guts being rotted. All right, now we're doing a debris pass. You can see, like we looked at the Stephen Platt thing earlier. So I'm putting a little bit of the drop shadow underneath these barrels to pop them a little bit. This will have a little bit of a cast shadow in there. And then this is dits and dashes, right? So we just come in and add little bits like it's been scuffed up. That's one of the things Lucas and his designers did on the original Star Wars. Everything looked used, like everything in that universe looked like it had been used with purpose, and created sort of an authenticity to it, man. Okay, Mick D asks, am I a Prince fan? Hold on a second. I'm gonna show you what kind of Prince fan I am, man. I wonder if we can put it on, because these are like really hard to get, like hard to get. Okay, I want you to see my Prince playlist. My Prince playlist. I gotta switch this around. It's 5.1 days long. Okay, so I've got stuff in here like beginnings. There's something in here called work, but this playlist is so freaking long. Let me see if I can go down to work. These are concerts and live concerts and unreleased stuff, but I have here's a, let's turn this up. Listen to this. This is an old Prince conversation from 1976. Can't hear much. Here's an instrumental. Here we go. That's, believe it or not, that's Prince. Or how about this one? Even if you cannot stay, here's where you want to be. Here's where you want to be. Anyway, yeah, I'm a big Prince fan. Since you asked, so we got to go back to my playlist. But yeah, my answer is yes. I'm a Prince fan. Prince, he is the man. But I have weird rankings, man. Like of course, Purple Rain is my favorite album, followed by Controversy. Even though it's not popular, I love Diamonds and Pearls, that album with Thunder and Daddy Pop and Money Doesn't Matter, and then of course the Batman soundtrack. I love that shit. It's good stuff. All right, let's go back. That was my Prince, my love of Prince. Oh, Dario Hernandez asks, who had the better discography, Stevie Wonder or Michael Jackson? This has been a recent debate by friends, and I honestly think Stevie wins. Stevie wrote all of his shit. Michael didn't write all of his stuff. Michael had bigger hits, but Stevie had more resonant hits. Like, Musiquarium, if you go through that's a soundtrack of my youth. I could do the same with Michael's greatest hits, but I think Stevie's a better writer. So I'm going to go with Stevie as well. Let's see. I have to cut out, but let me know if you want to do Comics Cake first, every Thrones, Beat Battle, choose your champion, winner eats a tomahawk, loser eats a dog biscuit. Haha. Possibly, man. Possibly. I think that's funny, man. As long as the dog biscuit is sausage. People says, watch out for music copyright strikes. Thank goodness that's unreleased stuff, right? Like that's all like fan-based stuff, and that's why I sang over some of it as well. But let's jump into adding some more texture on this gun that we were working on. Listen what I say, love is all I'm about. There we go. Okay. More debris. I'm gonna use a slightly smaller bit here. Add this rendering so we get the sense that this thing is round. And that's my man Dave Lewis, aka Pimp Dad, rapping on this song. We made this demo way back in 1994. Kind of crazy thinking about it. Oh, see a movie. Again, the bit of debris that I use is mostly just to give the idea that this thing is seen more than one battle, and that it's very well used and loved gun. And that'll be a place for a number. I gotta put a number here. I don't know what number is gonna go there, but there's gonna be a number there. Probably a 21, thinking about my homie Mike. That's what I'll do. So we'll put assist back on this layer again. So we put that's part of a 2, that's part of a 1, that's part of a 2, 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 and that's part of the 1. Then we'll turn the assist off and go. Pop that a little bit bigger. And the person rapping right there, that's my younger brother David. Can't call him little anymore. Dude is 40 years old. There we go. Bam, bam, bam. So now we get a bit more of a battle damage looking gun. Miami Eddie says Prince is not 5.1 days worth of good. He is, when you get the idea that oh yeah, the inversions, people is right. If you're talking about the keyboard inversions, the chord inversion, yeah, he is, because it's a lot of repeated stuff, but versions, right? So you get Purple Rain, but you get like 10 takes of Purple Rain, so it's cool, you know. Which hole do the bullets from his chest come out of? Someone asked me earlier. The bullets from his chest. Which hole do the bullets in his chest? Bullets in his... I don't know what that... You mean, where do they come out of the gun? I'm not sure what the question is, Mr. Green. You mean the shotgun shells? These are just for looks, man. The shotgun shells. This gun that he's toting around, those are like spit wads compared to, you know, those are definitely spit wads. All right, let's see how this levels up into this. There we go. So we see that, and now it also informs. It informs a little bit of what I can do to the gun to integrate it even further, and also adding value to pop it out. So now that I have the gun in there, I can put this shadow coming down a little more. This comes up into there. Boom. Same with this, drop shadow here. Go. This is the rip tear stuff on his arm. Is this at an 8? It was at a 10. That's why it was like that. I'm like, this is a lot thicker than I'm used to. I can tell. You know who I would really love to ink a piece of mine is Art to Bear. Got to get him on something. I think Art is a living legend. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but you know I think that, pal. All right, so this will be his hands, right? So this one's his index finger, so I want to make sure that I got this on right. Got the tips of the gloves. That goes here. These would come in a little bit tighter. There we go. Boom. And now his hand is holding the gun. We got integration, a little bit of drop shadow here. Again, we talked about the puzzle piece thing the other day on the live draw stream where we were, you know, each bit informs each bit. So now I know the shadow of the gun can fall a bit on these fingers. And again, I'm going to give this pro tip to you guys. If you guys want to do digital penciling, digital art, know what your pen size should be, and have thresholds. That way you don't ever draw too tiny. And when you get into the detail, no matter what, when I get into this detail right here, like right now we're looking at his knuckle, the limitation of the size of this brush will say what I can and can't do mark-wise, what'll look good and what'll be just basically wasted. Wasted. I want to get ice cream wasted. It's April, right? I haven't had my April treat yet. Yeah, shells there in a mag sticking out of the bottom of the gun for 2 rounds to go on, and assume they must shoot out of a smaller side barrel or something. So maybe this, I mean, that first off, we're talking about comics, right? So the functionality of it isn't necessarily, it's considered, but it's not super considered that way. This thing could be, this guy right here could be the spare rounds that that launch out of a smaller barrel on the other side. Like I can say maybe that's what we do, right? It could be that the aspirin this thing fills up a liquid that when combined with these cartridges here, the 3 liquid and these charges in here create an energy blast that comes out of here, right? I can sci-fi the fuck out of it. I want to get gammon wasted. Hell yeah, I do. I want to double fist of gammon. You guys send me gammon, I'll fucking eat it, dude. 777 equals magic. That's right, Past Master Dan. You know what's up. I'm getting a Mobius vibe from the gun. You would be correct in one of my influences. Mobius is one. I don't mention him enough, man. Thank you for bringing Mobius up. Yeah, Mobius is a major influence. Big time. All right, so we've got this. Let me take the gun out real quick. Make sure all is good. Yep. And then let's get that arm and hand drawn in there, or we can do the face. Let's do the face. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna bring the opacity on this down, and we're gonna do a face layer. Actually, I'm gonna turn the pencils off completely on this layer. I'll put the shoes upon my feet. Make this down to I'm gonna bring the threshold down to 7 on the face, just so I can get subtleties, but it won't affect. It won't get too thin, cause see how that's the thinnest we can get with this, right? You would think zoomed in, we'd want to get real tiny and like noodle it out and do all this kind of stuff, right? Like, ooh, look at all the detail I'm putting into this face, and ooh, look at all those tiny little details. And then you go, wait a second, that doesn't mean shit, right? So that's why, again, we keep the threshold on the pen size. So I'm saying here, the max we're gonna go is a 6. And it makes sure that even though these lines are thick, they're right in line with the rest of the image, so you don't get that crazy digital problem where there's tiny shit that is inconsequential. Let's see, we got some questions in here. You ever watch Future Weapons? No, I wish I would. When do you usually flip the canvas to check balance? I'll do it usually around when I do faces, because that's where it gets really weird. What parameter do you recommend for digital pins? It depends on the DPI. Right now I'm working at 600 DPI on 11 by 17, so the most I will give this is on Procreate is the smallest I'll go is a 5. Because see, now that face looks good. If I had used that smaller one, it would have not been as great. When I do storyboards, I have a certain DPI, but I mostly do my storyboards on Photoshop, and it's just because I'm used to having that on my Cintiq and whatnot. But I always have the brush I made at 4 pixels. Again, this is all other stuff. Do I want headgear on him though? I think he needs headgear. Yeah, he needs headgear. Almost forgot his headgear. One of the places where I will break that habit a little bit on the pin size, the stubble. This is just to give Shelby an indication of where I want it and kind of the feeling of it. So that's subtle enough where I can bring the pin size down, but this is an exception, definitely not the rule. There we go. All right. Let's see. Speaking of which, have you checked out those Blueberry Artist Edition albums? Yes, I have. Those are wonderful. How much time is left to try to send out samples? Keep sending them. Well, I'm not even going to be able to give answers until sometime in June. I think very grateful for the patience of people that have sent stuff in. What DPI do you set your canvas to? This one is set to 600. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's do his headset now. First, let's open up photos to go grab. Look at this awesome Rob Willis face. I don't know if you guys follow Rob Willis, but man, isn't that gorgeous? Where did I put it? Here it is. I only gave him headset on that side. Okay, interesting. Okay. Losing my mind and I just can't think on. All right. And then we come in with the beret. Go. I always have the hanging part hang over his right ear, and the Black Flag shield goes over his left eye. That's kind of one of those style things. Yeah, Rob Willis should do an Incredible Comics book. After he's done doing his other projects that he's got, I think we'll do what we can to get him on here. do I want to put the headset on that side? I don't know. I'm still kind of iffy on it. Nah, we're going to keep an ear on this side. Should have just kept the ear. That's fine. Now we're going to bring this down again to a 3 just to put that extra stubble action in there. Interesting fact, black flag fact, is I used to make Sniper the one with the cigar, and then I decided not to. Instead, I have it so that Gorilla is the resident smoker in Black Flag. There we go. Back up to 7 again. That works for me. Maybe a little more shadow in there in the eye. Yeah, there it is. Just a little what in there will do the trick. So now we got this, and then we reduce the opacity on this layer to see what we need to erase out. So that needs to go. All the stuff underneath the headgear needs to go. There we go. We bring the opacity back up. Now we connect, make sure the head and the rest of him connect. So now we add the striation of the muscles. Drop shadow underneath here, underneath his chin. Support that drop shadow on that fabric. There, that's looking right. We're at hour 3. It's time for, you guessed it,
Joey Fatone here. All I gotta say is Black Flag, Pineapple, Perception, and Frega Boom!
Yeah, we are back. We are back. Well, I'm going to give you guys a last peek here at Sniper as we have him drawn. I just got a text from my lady that it is dinner time upstairs and I am hungry. All that bacon is making me want to eat something delicious, and my wife makes the best. So here we go. We got a little bit of that. Let's put the little Couch Doodles logo in the corner. Give you guys a little visage. If you have any last questions, we got, I'll give you guys a couple more minutes to ask. And we will either come back later today or I'll be back on this tomorrow. But I gotta eat, and I got a phone call in like 45 minutes too. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. If not, I wanted to say thank you guys so much for joining this live stream. I'm gonna plug this bad boy in. Actually, I need to charge the pen up. It's getting low. Get fed, brother. That's right. Thank you, Kraken. Brief intermission. That's right. Leg kick. Everybody that's in the chat, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for the super chats. Please subscribe. Hit the notification bell over. I always do it on the wrong side. Over here. Ba-bam. Hit that notification bell. Is it this side? No, it's not. It's this side. I was right. Hit the notification bell. Is it? No, it is this side. I'm tired. Hit that notification bell. Hit subscribe notification bell so you know when the next time we're rocking and rolling. And check out the pre-launch sign-up list in the description. And if you haven't yet, check out the Indiegogo Dynamic Forces. I call them that because that was their old name. Dynamite Comics exclusive variant cover to Red Sonja Age of Chaos along with the Evil Ernie. Check out the t-shirts they have, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you so much, and frega boom. Oh, the answer to that one is Transformers. It used to be Star Wars, it's Transformers. And we're going to go out on bacon. Peace.